Hola amigos, feliz viernes. Hoy es viernes. Yo soy Rory y estoy contento estar aquí contigo. You may have seen or heard that we are in our fall session of Mastering Medical Spanish. We call it MMS. We just had our first live class this past Tuesday, and I got a note from one of our advanced level students, and she said, you know, Rory, dang, I realized in my class that I was totally struggling with some bigger numbers. Do you have anything for me that I can review some bigger numbers? And you know, even though she's an advanced student, it really brought back reminded me that no matter what level you are with Spanish, sometimes numbers are tricky because it's not necessarily about how you say them, for example, because you can string, like if it's in a phone number or something, you can digit by digit, and you can do a lot of things. You can work around a lot of numbers, but it's when people are speaking to you, it's a comprehension issue sometimes when people are using big numbers fast. But anyway, today we're going to look at los números en español, and particularly larger numbers so that you can, if you have to explain particular test results in this many thousand whatevers, that you can be accurate in your uso de los números. Like I was saying about comprensión auditiva, ¿cómo se escuchan los números? Here's how you might hear a number if you were to ask someone what their phone number is, for example. Mi número de teléfono es 720-684-5557. What? Oh, ¿cómo? Repita, por favor. Hable más despacio, por favor. Here's what it sounds like, what it looks like. 720, so 720, 684, 5557. There's a real tendency for native Spanish speakers to chunk these numbers together, to group them in. You could think of convenient groups of two, even though it's pretty inconvenient when it comes to comprehension. Okay, here's another one. Mi dirección, my address. Mi dirección es 4270 y 9 calle Main. So mi dirección es 4279 calle Main. So my address is 4279 calle Main. So Main Street. Again, numbers chunked together. Usted pesa 175 libras. Usted pesa 175 libras. You weigh 175 pounds. Su altura es de 5 pies y 4 pulgadas. Su altura es de 5 pies y 4 pulgadas. Your height is 5'4". Su presión está en 140 sobre 98. Su presión está en 140 sobre 98. So your blood pressure is 140 over 98. Okay, we're seeing these números and escuchando los números son grandes muchas veces. Let's get started with our base, okay? Nuestra base. Números 1 a 15, actually it's going to be 0 to 15. Let's start with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang with me if you know the basic numbers, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, if we can get the base numbers up to 15 down, we're going to be in good shape because after 15, we begin to see some patterns in how numbers are put together, okay? And so, but none of these have any patterns yet, okay, in them. Bien, la regla general. La regla general, when we get above 15, is that vamos a tener nuestra base 10, we'll have our base 10, y, and then whatever our 1 through 9 is in our ones column, okay? So check it out. 10 y 6. This isn't really the right way to write it, but it helps you to see the pattern. 16 is how you write it. It sounds just like this. 16, but it's written like this. 17, same. 18, 19. Okay, you see the pattern happening? We've got our 10 and then our ones. This is, again, how you write it, but this helps you see the pattern aquí. All right, so what we need to do then is take a look at los base 10. We need to know the base 10 numbers so that we can immediately go from 15 and get up to 100, right? Okay, so 20, how would you say 29? 20, so we've got our base 10 and then our ones. What's it going to be? It's going to be 29. Again, the 20s work just like 16, 17, 18, 19. This is how you see the pattern, 29, but no one really writes it right that way. They all write it as one word, 29. Okay. 30, base 10 y, now our real pattern starts. 30 y, and then 8. So what is it? 38, 38. That one is 3 words, and from here on out, we're 3 words. 40 is 40. So how do we say 47? 40 is 40, so 47, 47. 50 is 50. 50 is 50, so how do we say 56? 56. Okay, great. 60. 60 is 60. And so how do we say 65? 65. You're seeing the pattern, right? Okay, 70 is 70. How about 74? 74. 80 is 80. 83? 83. 90 is 90. So how about 92? 92. Okay, great. You're seeing the pattern. So one of the things you want to do is get these base 10s down. Download these notes, okay? If you're on YouTube, head over to the blog and get the download. If you're on the blog, just click the link down below and get the download so you can have these notes, okay? All right, bien. Let's practicar un poquito. Let's practice some of these base 10s up to 100 so far. Okay, 22, what's it going to be? Remember, you got your base 10, E, and then the ones column. 22, 22. Okay, so you hear the E, but the 20s, remember 16 to 19, and then 20 all the way up to 29, they're scrunched together. So 22. All right, 36, what do we got? 36. 49. 49. 51. 51. 68. 68. 73. 73. Okay, 60 and 70 are going to screw you up a little bit. But just remember that 7 has a T in it, so we've got 70. 6 doesn't have a T in it, so it's got S, 60. Okay? All right, bien, that's a little trick that worked for me. 84, 84. 97, what's our 90 again? 90, so 97. Okay, so we've got up to 100, right? We've just got our base 10, E, and then our ones column. Now, this maintains true as we get bigger as well, but we've got to put 100 in front of it now. Okay, now we've got to figure out how do we do our hundreds, and then we can add these in there with our, to get, between 100 and 200, for example. All right, so let's look at los 100. Let's look at the hundreds. All right, so 100 even is 100. As soon as you go over 100, it's ciento. Okay, so 101 would be 101. 101. There's no E in there. There's nothing. It's just our 100. And then we start back over at 1. 101. All right, so 200. 210. So we've got 200. Again, there's not going to be any E in there because we've got our 200 and we just do our next number. It's okay? 210. 210. 300. So 315. What's that going to be? 300, 315. 315. 315. All right, so 491. All right, so now we will have an E in there, but just between the 9 and the 1. But with our 400, and then we have 91, okay? Pull 91 from the previous slide, okay? All right, so 400 is 400. 491. 491. 500, it's in rojo because it's not 500. It's a little irregular, let's say. It looks like 15, in fact. 500, 500. So 585, 585. All right, let's keep going here. 600, 600. So 673. 673. Hey, if you're learning something in this video right now, go ahead and make sure that you like the video and subscribe to our channel so you can keep getting more and more of these every week video Viernes lessons. All right, 700, irregular también. Just like 70 a little bit. Okay, 700 is 700. So how are we going to say 754? 754. Okay? 800 is 800. 800. So 862. 862. 900 is 900. So 936. Rojo también because it's irregular. It's not 900, it's 900. So 936. 936. Okay, let's do some more práctica with our hundreds. Un poquito de práctica. 115. What are we going to do? Ciento, we know that. 115. All right, muy bien. 293, so 293. So we're going to say 293. 293. Put me on pause if you need more time to think. 375. Pause me if you need time to think. 375. All right, 486. 486. 561. It's red. Remember, it's irregular. It's not 500. It's going to be like 15. So it's 500. All right, 561. 561. 650. 650. 744. Also irregular. Think of 70. 744. 839. 839. 839. 928. Don't let me go too fast for you. Pause me, right? Irregular también. 928. 928. Okay, so we've got the ones, the tens, the hundreds, and now let's build into the thousands. Los mil. Los mil. So mil on its own is, or 1,000 on its own is mil. Okay? Bien. So 1,976. Okay. 1976. Okay? So we're just adding mil now. We had 976 previously, and so now we're just adding the 1,000 to it. It's all very like building blocks, okay? So 1976. So how about 2010? 2010. So 2000 is 2000. So 2010, 2010. All right? 3,150. 3,000 is 3,000. So 3,150. 4,000 is 4,000. So how about 4,502? 4,502. 4,502. 4,502. 5,000. 5,000. 5,280. 5,280. 5,280. Okay? 6,000. 6,000 is 6,000. 6,370. So 6,370. How are we going to do it? Again, it's building blocks. So you've got our 70, we've got our 300, and then we've got our 6,000. Okay? So 6,370. All right, 7,000, 7,000, 7641. 7,641. 8,000, 8,000, 8,015. 8,015, 8,015. 9,000, 9,999. Okay, so we know 900 itself is irregular. That's one of those red ones. Okay, so keep that in mind. 9,000, 9,999. Okay, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. 10,712. How are we going to do that? 10,712. Y 200,000, 200,000. So we're really just adding things up now, okay? 200,000, so 250,000, 101. 250,000, so we took our 250, 250, and then we added 1,000 to it, 1,000, and then 101 for 101. Okay, let's practice a little bit. You saw the examples, let's practice. 1980, 1980. 1980, 1980. Don't let me go too fast. Put me on pause so you can think. 2019. 2019. 3,500. 3,500. 3,500. 4,101. What's 4,000? 4,000. So 4,101. 4,101. 5,290. 5,290. So we've got 5,290. 5,290. 6,015. 6,015. 6,015. 7,860. 7,860. 7,860. 8,752. 8,752. 8,752. All right, 9,623. 9,623. 9,623. 9,623. 10,001. 10,001. 10,001. 10,001. No E in there, no need for an E, because remember the E is only between the tens and the ones, like 52. The tens and the ones. You hear it in here even though it's not written for the 20. 23. Okay. All right. 15,500. 15,500. 15,500. 15,500. All right. 200,000. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm cheating. I'm giving you the answer. Lo siento. 200,480. How are we going to say that? 200,480. 200,480. 200,480. Okay, so you've got the building blocks. You can apply these patterns as you are trying to communicate numbers yourself. But again, just like I started out the video, the hard part is really comprensión auditiva. The hard part is hearing these numbers at, native pace and tempo and with accents, right? So comprensión really is la parte difícil. So let's look at some patterns in how people communicate numbers, like phone numbers. How do people communicate phone numbers in Spanish? Like we saw before, they tend to chunk numbers, right? So for this one, 303, there's no real way to chunk this one. You can't really say 33 because it would maybe sound like 33, right? And you could say 303, okay, yeah. You may hear that. Likely you'll hear the natural number, 303. So 303, 684, 55, 57. Here's another one. Less likely to hear the natural number here because there's an easy way to chunk it. 970, 970, 970, 453, 15, 67. Okay. Comprehension is challenging not because you're not smart enough to know the numbers. It's because you're just not used to the patterns. So if you focus on how people are chunking numbers, your comprehension is going to go through the roof. Okay, números y signos vitales. How do we use números and signos vitales? Let's start with temperatura. We've got grados. Grados is our degrees, and then punto is point, okay? So how would we say 98.7 and 101, for example, degrees, okay? So su temperatura está en, your temperature is at 98.7 grados, 98.7 grados, see? Or how about 101? Su temperatura está en 101 grados. Su temperatura está en 101 grados. Okay, let's look at la presión. La presión, when we're talking blood pressure, over is sobre. Okay, so we've got sobre here. 120 over 80, 130 over 90, 90 over 60. Okay, how are you going to do it? Sobre is over. So you just said top number, sobre, bottom number. Okay, bien. Su presión está en. Notice this phrase, está en. It's a good way to communicate your, whatever your vital sign is in this case, okay? Su presión está en 120 sobre 80. Su presión está en, ahora, 130 sobre 90. 130 over 90. Su presión está en 90 sobre 60. Ok, bien. Continuamos with más signos vitales. Let's look at pulso. Pulso. We've got 60 and then latidos por minuto and 86 beats per minute. Latidos por minuto. All right, so we're going to say está en again. Su pulso está en 60 latidos por minuto. So your pulse is 60 beats per minute. Let's say 86. How would you do 86? Su pulso está en 86 latidos por minuto. All right, peso is weight. Peso is weight, so 98 kilograms, 215 pounds, okay? Usted pesa. We're not saying está en anymore. We're using the active verb you weigh. Usted pesa 98 kilogramos or 215 libras. Okay? Bien. Oxygen. Oxygen, we talk about percents. So we've got por ciento as percent. So oxygen, 98% por ciento and 82% por ciento. How are we going to say it? Back to está en. We're back to está en our frase. Su oxígeno está en 98%. Su oxígeno está en 98%. And how about your oxygen is in 82%? Su oxígeno está en 82%. Okay, let's do this. How do you use numbers? Let's make a comment on this video in Facebook, or comment on the blog. ¿Cómo usas los números? How do you use numbers with your patients? Try it out in the comments section and we'll let you know how you're doing. So for example, usted pesa 180 libras. Oh, you weigh 180 pounds today. Or su temperatura está en 104 grados. Give it a shot. Make a comment down below. We'll be reading the comments. We'd be glad to help you figure out if there's anything additional you can do to improve it, okay? All right, any questions you have about números en español, go ahead and post them below in the comments section. And if you need un compañero de práctica, if you need a compañero de conversación, head over to the Learning Medical Spanish Facebook group and put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm Rory, I'm an intermediate speaker, I'm looking for a conversation partner who would like to be a partner with me, okay? Okay, amigos, gracias por aprender español conmigo. Juntos realmente mejoramos comunidades. Para más español, make sure you head over to Common Ground, and if you want to take a free medical Spanish terminology test, head over here to Certified Spanish for as many free tests as you would like. Okay, amigos, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to get more weekly video Viernes lessons in your inbox. Ciao.